Okay. Do we need a preamble? Can't we just
I think
go straight
like a little preamble. I don't know. I feel like you want to like set the scene a little bit.
But like, if we're pretending to know,
you're going to add like so many layers to this.
Can we pretend to know that they know what we're on about?
What do you mean?
Pretend they know.
Pretend they know that this is a podcast in which we pretend to know.
Yeah.
So there's no
we're
introduction or anything.
Be making a lot of assumptions and a lot of just random.
So you don't even want like a hi, welcome to Pretending to Know. This is a podcast in which I, Matthew Whitby, sit down with my sister.
Me.
That's not your name.
Is my name not in the corner?
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Your name will be in the corner. But Katherine, this is a podcast. It's a video and audio format.
Yeah.
People aren't just gonna. So, who are you?
I'm Katherine.
There we go. Hello, everyone. Say hi to Katherine. So this is a podcast in which we talk about a randomly generated topic. We haven't done any sort of rehearsing or practice. The topic, we don't have notes, and much like the name of the podcast, we pretend to know.
We might know a little bit. We might know a little bit.
Yeah,
but the majority of the time we'll be pretending to know that we know what we're on about.
Pretending to act like we know. It's many layers to it. It's a very advanced podcast.
Well, I kind of think confidence is key. Like if I say anything with enough confidence,
okay,
it's
And well, you know what? I'm not going to waste any time. I'm gonna smack this random button, and we'll just see. Dude,
we'll see. Let's have a look.
I'm bloody horrified. How much time do you spend on the internet? What do you usually do?
That's a great one. That's a great start.
Yeah. I'll let you start.
Too much time.
Well, okay, no. What's too much?
Like, I fall down YouTube holes, TikTok holes. Like, internet's full of holes that I can fall down. Time seems to sort of just go. So I could spend in the morning, be like, 5 minutes, I'll just go on TikTok for a bit, or I'll like watch this YouTube video. And before you know it, like I am watching this documentary about how someone was murdered, and like, so hours a day, I would say.
Yeah, no, I must admit, it does like I have days where it's like I'm more like computer focused on like just falling down YouTube holes versus like Reddit or Twitter focused. And when I get those screen time notifications of like, oh, you've watched through an average of like I think it's like 3 to 4 hours ish.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't know if that's a lot. Like I think it is.
It is. It's a lot. Like when you think about like the normal day.
I guess you're awake for 12 hours.
Yeah. I've never felt like more judged than when Netflix is like, are you still watching? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And like, what's your point?
No, that's partly on Netflix. They autoplay the next episode. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Also, so you brought up a topic about like those like murder mystery things.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm getting slightly annoyed at YouTube.
Why?
Videos are getting fucking long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's because of like monetization, isn't it? Like they go 10 minutes in, and it's like, you hit the 10-minute mark, you get like
no, I'm talking about I don't know what it is, but particularly like those kind of like crime dramas, like those sort of things, they're always an hour long, or like the I don't know. Again, these are videos that I've not watched, but in my like recommended like those sort of like essay videos turn up and they're like 2 hours long, and it's like, Jesus, that's a lot. That's a lot. Big essay.
But like a court case takes weeks to like happen, so like there's a lot of like putting down.
But I don't know, like, so you fell down the rabbit hole. You watch one of these like murder mystery things. What like
but mine are very specific. So my murder ones are always women putting on makeup, and they're like putting their makeup on, and it's like, putting the blusher on, doing like, and then they're being like, and yes, she was torn to pieces, and like doing the makeup. So it's a very niche market, but a very popular market of crime and putting on makeup together.
I don't,
and that is what I watch.
You've raised a lot of questions that I don't really. What do you mean? Just like. Okay, so I guess it's them talking, and then I think like it's the idea that like, oh, okay, well, we'll need to do something during the video.
Yeah. So while they're talking, they're just putting the makeup on.
Is that not?
And then they'll be like, yeah, and it was like disgusting, little limbs everywhere.
Is there not like there's like I feel like there's a huge amount of like cognitive dissonance between like, oh, you know, you're talking about like horrific bad stuff, and people like make I get
so it's sort of like, I am fucking living for this eyeliner, but not that she was dead. She's straight up dead. She was gone. Like, it's
And how much
morally, I don't know what that means in terms of where we're going in society. That those are the two things that have been paired together, but it works.
Yeah,
I'm watching.
Yeah, but then okay, so about on the murder case itself, how much detail to like go into though? Because I've been like, okay, so if I again, maybe this is just my again, I don't know. No, I do know. If I wanted to make something like that, I would be like, well, I want to know like the highlights of like the court case. I wouldn't want to know like everything.
No. And I find as well, I don't like the recent cases because it's too like, I like to have like a little bit of separation. Like, if that criminal is still, and they'd be like, oh yeah, so he came out of prison 2 days ago, and I'm like, I don't want to know that. Like that's not not helpful. That's not helpful to anybody.
What is the acceptable distance then of like, they need to be like 10 years ago, or like everyone involved is dead?
Because the other thing as well is, I think there's a moral issue of, if someone is making money from their YouTube videos, and which these people are, because they're you know, they got nice makeup, and that ain't cheap.
That money's got to come from somewhere.
It's coming from somewhere.
Money.
Yeah, and if the families of victims, or even like the victims if they survived, like, I don't know how I would feel about some random YouTuber like making money off. I don't know, like, not enough for me to stop like consuming that content, but enough for me to be like, oh
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm vain enough of like, okay, so say someone kills me, in like, you know, I'm one of many serial killers, many victims and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's somewhat nice to be memorable. Like, you know, just a nice lady out there talking about, you know, like, oh, you know, like the highlights of my life, how it was like, you know, how I struck down in my prime.
But I don't know. I just feel like for families and stuff, like, isn't that like, yeah,
but like, do they know these videos are being made?
Well, like, surely you must do, if it's getting popular enough that.
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean, I guess it would only really come up if you were on YouTube, I guess, searching the name of your family member's killer, or the person who died.
Yeah, I don't know. This is where I'm a hypocrite.
Okay, no,
I have a morbid fascination about these cases, and I'm sort of like, what drives a person to do that? But equally, at the same time, I'm like, oh, like, those were people. That's why I think if there's enough of like a distance between what, in my head, it almost becomes, it sounds awful, but it sounds like fiction.
Yeah,
like,
I imagine, is it also about like
tell me about a murder that happened 100 years ago, and I'm like, okay, like, this is storybook.
Is it anything in like the presentation of the video that they kind of, it's almost like story time?
Kind of, yeah. Is that kind of like, a lot of them be like
yeah,
it'd be like that.
It do be like
that. A lot of them are sort of like, they put disclaimers in, like, don't send hate to the victim or any of the victim's family, like blah blah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's like I said, hypocritical, because when it comes up on my YouTube like thing, I'm like, hello. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, ooh. Like,
I'm trying to think if I've gone any similar YouTube rabbit holes recently. But I get like a lot of gaming content, which is no surprising.
Yeah, not surprising.
But then occasionally, every now and then, like there's so many like US like gun YouTube channels. And occasionally those end up, which I think is, I feel concerned because it's like I'm not in the market for a gun or anything like that. But
glad. That's reassuring.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even know what to do with one. But they're always like this. I don't know what it is. They're always like, I've bought a 50 caliber gun and I'm gonna try and fire it through 23 cement blocks. And it's like, that sounds pretty fucking cool.
But have you seen it? There's a show where there's some kind of like forging of weapons. They make the weapons.
Yeah, it's the sort like the blacksmith challenge or something like that.
And then like literally there's a guy that's job is just to test it out by like hitting stuff. And I love that. Like I know nothing about chainmail. I know nothing about any of that. I don't foresee finding myself in a situation where I would need to know about that. But I love watching it.
Yeah, I guess it in the same way that, you know, like I don't know. I don't want to try and like defend like a weird fascination with guns. Because I don't think I even have it and stuff like that. It's just something about that. I don't know. I guess the algorithm just knows that every now and then I'm going to see a video of like talking about like this really obscure gun and how many cinder blocks or like they did something with like kinetic sand.
Yeah.
Which I know what kinetic sand. It's essentially like I forget what it is, but it's a case of like where you just leave it alone. It's like goopy, but then it's that's the technical term. It's scientific goopy. But the moment you kind of apply any pressure to it, like the molecules tighten up.
Oh.
So if you punch the sand, hurt the hand.
Hurty
hand. But if you like massage the sand, it's like, so it's meant to be good to like stop bullets, and it does some of them.
What? See, that's
yeah. Because I mean, like, so between my understanding of like guns now from all these videos and your understanding of serial killers, like on the outside looking in, people are like, that's those two people are proper scuffed.
No, but this is the thing. Like, I don't know what happened for that to become my algorithm. Clearly, I've clicked on something, but like. It's not like I'm going to YouTube and being like serial killers. Like, so how did it get there in the first? How was it like initially recommended to me? I don't know.
So I again, so because I know things. I honestly, I honestly think in sometimes it's kind of like you watch a particular YouTube. They have, you know, they sometimes have like not networks, but they have like channels associated with them.
Yeah,
and they kind of go through those, and especially if you're like watching like essay people, it's not too much of like a skip and a jump to like. And in the same way, how if you're watching those like really obscure like it comes up with a lot with like what's the name of the thing, Mythbusters. Mythbusters isn't too far away from a random guy within, you know, their back garden with a massive gun firing it off at 23 cinder blocks. Which actually, I'll be honest, I don't think that video exists. It's that kind of chaotic energy though. Like you can kind of see the connect. But that's the thing, because like I do sometimes think like when you're getting into like these algorithms, I worry like how much of an echo chamber that creates, because you hear about that, don't you? Like you end up like you like a certain particular thing, and then that's all that you then become to see. And obviously, like YouTube alone, like ridiculous amount of content on there. But because I've got a certain pattern of watching, that's kind of like that, there's so much out there that I'm not witnessing, I'm not seeing, and you kind of only end up seeing like one side of the picture. Hence the murder ones. Like, people are terrifying, but there's going to be lots of videos up there being like, oh, here's some wholesome YouTube knows you don't like those. You don't want those ones.
You don't want those. Like.
But I guess that's I guess okay. So we've taken like a probably like innocuous, innocent question of like, oh, how much time do you spend on the internet? And now we're like, well, the apps are fucking bastards. They're like literally designed in a manner that it's kind of.
Yeah.
Because
they're good. That's the trouble. They're so good at their job that you don't realize that that's what's happened.
Yeah. So I got so the weird thing that I happened the other day is like, so I spent a few days kind of just away from Twitter just because I was busy doing other stuff. And I wasn't getting any kind of notifications because again, I wasn't using Twitter. No one's liking my stuff. That's when Twitter starts sending it.
Do you want me to like your stuff?
Please,
I can do that.
Just a little. I know.
Okay.
But people were like, people I follow and I typically kind of engage with their tweets, started tweeting. And then Twitter was like, let's send them a notification. And it's like, it's not anyone engaging with my stuff, which I normally get notification for. It's like, hey, come back. Hey, we got some things for you to look at. Come back,
It's like that Duolingo owl.
Yeah, it literally is. and it's like I've gone in and kind of changed that kind of notification setting, but it's like, I don't know. I wonder how like kind of impactful that is because again, I bloody hate those like little red arrow notification things. And
you've got to clear them. I cannot. The people who have thousands of emails, thousands of notifications, they are psychopaths. Like, I do not understand. How can you have that many? If you're about to tell me that you have got unopened emails.
No. I honestly don't. But it's the same way of like, I can just like, it's, I just see it as like I can sort of see how from their standpoint, we're just as like psycho. Just because because I feel like
what's the point of an email address if you're not going to deal with the mail that's in there? Like you can't, if that was your letterbox, you wouldn't just let them pile up.
But there's so much trash emails. And I feel like there's okay. So say like again, it's easier to like I delete so many emails. I get like my friends kind of give me sass for like how quickly I delete some emails, and they're just like, "Oh, did you get that email about X?" I'm like, "I've deleted it.
It's already gone."
It's gone. But then
didn't even bother processing that.
No. Yeah, I opened it. I realized it wasn't. It didn't mention me by name, so it was gone. And I feel like there's that tipping point where like I do have so I do have one or two, like I have multiple email addresses. I don't know if that's weird. Okay, so I have like my one that I started. Like the get-go.
Are these like personal? Because I can understand that you got a personal and a work one.
Yeah, I got a personal work one, and then I have another Gmail one. I have a Gmail one. I have three email addresses. I can't remember why I started the Gmail one, but I do. And that's the one that has thousands of emails in it because it's like my least used one. And obviously it's nothing but like, hey, there's a Google Drive change or a Google, like someone's commented on your stuff or, left a recommendation. And those fill up like exceedingly quick.
But so just turn those notifications off so you don't get emails.
It's reached that tipping point. Like, okay, so in all my other email accounts, it's so easy to like stay on date and just delete emails as they come in. Once you reach like, I've got like 1,000 email addresses in it. It's that you have to make a concerted effort to go in and like, today's the day that I'm going to sit through and
this says a lot about me.
Yeah.
But I actually love doing email purges where you go through and you're like, I'm going to unsubscribe, and you go through the email, find the little unsubscribe button, click that. That is the most satisfying thing, knowing that email is the last one I'm going to get from them.
Also, I mean that's a little mini game in itself, because some like thankfully I think with was about to say with the GDPR or whatever GDPR,
yeah.
GDPR.
Oh, I've done training on that.
There we go. I'm fairly sure that's I don't even. Well, I think I'm assuming it's that makes the unsubscribe button like easier to find. But some of them are a little sneaky about it. They don't make it like super clear. They make the font like 9. Like
no. So the GDPR, I don't think that's anything to do with like how easy it is to unsubscribe. I think GDPR is about you protecting that data.
Yeah.
So it's the company's duty. So you could, I suppose it is in a way, in the sense that you could say, well, I don't want you to have my data anymore. Unsubscribe me. But realistically, they're still going to keep your data on file for a while, surely.
Yeah.
But hopefully locked away, like dealt with, and like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Jeez. So, I mean, okay, well, Jesus. So that was a hell of a tangent. Do you think we've like sufficient? I don't know.
What was the question?
What's the question? That's how you know we've had a good little tangent. How much time do you spend on the internet, and what do you usually do? So I think like, okay, so if I like, if I map out my day, I wake up, I'm in bed. I'm not getting out of bed.
It's good that you've woken up in bed. Like, that's a good start.
Yeah, like, not every morning's like that, but on average,
I'm face down in the pavement.
I have had a frosty Jack evening, and it has rendered me inert. No, on average, I wake up in a bed.
Good. Your bed?
Again, on average, a bed. Okay, I'm having to. And then I do spend about the first 45 minutes of my morning just kind of scrolling through my phone. Typically it's Reddit. And so what I try and do is I go through like the kind of like, I don't go through my personalized feed. I go through the all feed.
Yeah.
That's like the most like what's going on all over the place. And I feel like that's a good mix to kind of,
Do you reckon that's still affected by some kind of algorithm though?
Oh, it has
because you're logged into Reddit, aren't you?
Yeah.
So they're gonna know when you click all, they're like, not all.
Yeah.
Just
I think it is still but then it tends to be like to get to like all is like, I think with Reddit in particular, like I think it's like the most popular topics. So out of all the subreddits or like, the other little like individual threads of like, oh, I love murder mysteries, to bring it back in. If there was a post in the murder mystery things, it's like, oh, this person does really fucking amazing eyeliner. Everyone's like that. It goes straight to the all page. And then I would scroll through and be like, oh, that's that murder mystery YouTuber has really
with
nice
great eyeliner.
But then kind of from there, then I watch YouTube while I eat my breakfast. And then I kind of segue into trying to do work, which is pretty much all on mostly on the, because I do my work in like Google Docs. Or like Overleaf.
Incredible.
Yeah, which is good. Although I've come to have like a little bit of a gripe with Google Docs. Again, this is like tangent on tangent. I don't think you can trust the spell checker anymore.
No, I don't think you ever could.
I thought you could. Like it does catch some words, but I honestly feel like I think I'm hitting that point where like I think I need to like export out of Google Docs and bring it into like the fancy Word, because I think Word has like.
Have you set it up to like English though, not like American English?
Well, like... okay, so that's another problem I have is I do a lot of writing that's meant to be in American.
Oh,
but I write in English. And then I make the editor do this little, but
go sort of bastardize these.
Yeah. So I've done my writing. Yeah. And then obviously like lunch is like YouTube again, and then like that's there are times where I have to kind of be quite like I can't have any excess tabs open. I can't have Twitter. I can't have X open because I will get distracted. And
I get that. For me, majority of my internet consumption comes from my phone. And I'm awful for like just checking it. And, like, I don't even know why I'm checking it a lot of the time.
So with like, do you get like notifications from like TikTok?
Yeah.
The
weirdest one is Snapchat, because I don't use Snapchat.
Just like honestly delete it.
But sometimes I want to put filters on my face.
But I thought like doesn't Instagram have those filters as well?
Oh yeah, but I think they're slightly different. But just think, if I want to have like, I don't know, like little pretty. I can't do the makeup that they do in the makeup, like the murder mystery, like YouTube.
Okay, so you have to use Snapchat for that.
Fake it, but on there, like what freaks me out is I get notifications being like, oh, this person, like, I don't know, Steve and Joseph is on
good solid
Snapchat. Names. I don't know Steve or a Joseph, but like enough for Snapchat to be like, hey, go add these people. And I'm like, I don't know these people, and that scares me.
The worst part is no, but again, that's the case of like I couldn't tell you what apps are like connected, because I feel like it's fairly safe to say that Facebook owns a good chunk of some of these. Yeah. Does Facebook own Instagram?
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
Maybe, yeah. Facebook owns it. I can't, but that's what I mean. It's and like there's some of these apps which is like, oh, you have to sign in using like your Facebook account or your Google Drive, like Google account.
Just Eat. So I think that is probably like for ease. The idea is that you don't have to then like set up an account for everything.
That's why I have email.
But that's how you end up with that slippery slope of thousands of notifications. I can't do it.
Dude, I must admit, okay, so it's like tangent. I'm done with Facebook. I think I'm done with it.
Are you? Yeah. Oh, see, I quite like it, but purely because like otherwise, Grandma's like,
that's what I mean. It's like, you know, I guess it's the unfortunate thing is as we brought Grandma onto to Facebook was like,
and she's very good.
The opposite trajectory of like my interest in I just because everything's like, at least in my like at least in my demographic it's like it's
what demographic's that?
You know, cool ass bitches. It's I feel like it's moving over to like Discord.
Oh yeah,
that's what I feel like it and stuff like that. But I mean, like, I only use Facebook to advertise shit.
Yeah. See, like, I don't know if this is like a, I was going to say a generational thing. Like, there's
is this in your demographic? What's your demographic?
I'm a millennial. Are you a millennial?
Well, I'm sticking to cool ass bitch.
But I don't. Is that my demographic? I don't know.
I think
so. Demographic mean?
Demographic. we know
like,
this shit.
Yeah, white. Is that our demographic?
No, okay, yeah. So demographic information includes age, race, ethnicity, gender, marital status, income, education, employment. I wasn't thinking of demographic. I was thinking of generation.
Okay, which is millennial for you, isn't it?
Which is millennial, I think. Yeah, because we're within like 3 years of each other.
Yeah, but like,
what
year does that start? When?
Generation millennials are people between the ages of 21 and 36 born between 1981 to 1996. So there you go. I'm barely a millennial.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean is even in the gap of 3 years, I don't know if like maybe like, you know,
well, Discord has completely passed me by, but I don't know, is that like a
hashtag gamer thing?
Is that a 29-year-old thing, or is that like a me thing? It could be a me thing.
It could be you thing.
Like, I'm aware that me being on TikTok feels strange because I feel like a TikTok is like the next generation thing.
Did you feel weird about Vine?
Applying?
About Vine?
No, Vine skipped me.
Yeah, see, I didn't
know what Vine was.
I also kind of skipped the Vine. Yeah,
I only found out about Vine through YouTube. So
yeah.
that was like, yeah.
I don't know if you're like me. I found out most about it when it was shut down.
yeah. So, but like TikTok for me is, I'm aware as well, algorithm. It is mostly cat videos and dogs and the occasional like specific band ones. Like, I'm getting a lot of like goth and emo.
Shocking.
Vines, no, TikToks that are very specific to like 2010.
I occasionally, so I again, so in watching my partner Chloe, watching her like Instagram reel that she watches, she gets a lot of like teachers, like American teachers.
Yes.
Mental.
I know.
I don't know what it is about like they just like the UK style of teaching. I don't think any teacher has that much personality or freedom over their like
I have no personality. Oh no, sorry. Over classrooms.
Yeah.
No.
Also, I mean that was like a targeted like jab as you.
Fine, whatever. I'm not sad about it. Yeah, my classroom, I could decorate more. Well, I'm not a teacher anymore. I could have gone further with it. But what I find, and this is more again a creative me problem, I have good ideas. I just can't make them happen. And when I do, they're just really sad.
I think I've because like in my art like GCSE and stuff like that, at times like I have the image in my head and I go take the pencil to paper, and then there's a moment where you take your pencil and I go, oh. Why
that's not what I thought of at all. And you try and fix it and just make it worse. But to be fair, like my school, we had like this display team, and to be fair, we had like loads of people working in the school that they had an eye for these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like some people could create these incredible, like they'd make like a burger, and each part of the burger is a different way of like structuring your paragraph.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
But
so what I did was just find pictures online and stick them on the wall. And that's what I did.
Memes or just general pictures?
Just general pictures. I did enjoy, because RE teacher, I did enjoy the Dalai Lama, which was a llama wearing Buddhist monks robes, and I enjoyed that.
Was that a picture you found yourself, or did you have to do some?
Oh no, yeah, I found that online. Yeah, 100%. Like,
so, but did you get like what I mean about like the way American teachers?
American teachers, that's insane.
I just I don't also because I don't know why, it's just like I guess it's just the UK way of doing things. The fact I just can't imagine like a teacher of like standing up towards their class and like doing like a TikTok. I feel like that's illegal.
Yeah, it's definitely like, in terms of safeguarding, that's quite questionable. Like I know, like they normally do it so it's like the camera's facing the teacher,
or like there's no one in the classroom and stuff like that.
But even when the class is there doing like the call outs, because they've got those like chants that they do, like sounds really cultish when I say it like that, but like they, to try and get someone quiet, they'll say something and then the rest of the class repeat it, and that's like the attention stopper. But which is probably nicer than how I did it, which was like, quiet, like stop.
I mean, you know, if
why are you so feral? But I watched a TikTok of an American teacher creating a paper mache tree that was like a hideout. So like if children were feeling overwhelmed, they could go inside this paper mache tree in the corner of their classroom. Incredible.
I feel wonderful. We had that, like, I think we both had stories from our school growing up where I think there was a fire started in the classroom. I know that you had that. I wasn't in the classroom for that, but we heard stories how like in one of the other classes in my year, they did set a plastic chair on fire.
Yeah, the deodorant and lighter thing. Yeah. To be fair, like
maybe I think this is argument. Maybe things should be more like the American way.
Yeah. Like,
I don't think they have as many like classroom fires as maybe we do have.
I don't think they did.
But then also that might be like just our little slice of the UK.
Well, the one that I always remember is with my school. This is not school I taught at, clearly. When I was a student at school, we had a situation where children were just fainting. And
was it like a gas leak?
Was a gas leak, but we didn't know this at the time. So we were all sent onto the school field and we had to wait there. And at some point there was this guy in this like giant, like not quite a hazmat suit, but like a
close
big, and you can imagine, I mean, not being funny, I am a drama queen now. And as a teenager, like the drama levels, they were through.
Amped up a little bit,
I was like, we are gonna die. Like my friend Claire, like she had her house kind of backed onto the field. So we'd gone to the corner of the field and we were like shouting for Claire's dad to be like, give us sandwiches, we couldn't stop. We stayed on the field until about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Jeez, how long were you out there for? Like a few hours?
Well, yeah, because it was like lunchtime onwards, because they couldn't think, they wanted to make sure they knew what the problem was, because like kids were just fainting. So
were you sorry, I was gonna say, were you like back to school the next day?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
because it was just a gas leak, and once you fix the gas leak, like it's no longer a problem. But that was how do we get onto that? Like,
I'll be honest, I feel like that's like, yeah, that's I think I don't fucking know. Like,
I felt like I could hear your brain going.
I was trying to like follow the path. I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like we've covered the topic in detail. I feel like we stayed on topic. I feel like we both have detailed how much time we spend on the internet and what we do, and the many problems.
Here's a question.
Oh shit! Okay, it's a closing question.
What would you change about your internet usage? Like, would you want? Are you like aware it's too much? Want to shorten it, or would you? Is there like a website that you're like, oh, I cut out using.
I guess there are definitely times where like I realize I'm caught in like the distraction loop, and it's hard to kind of break from that cycle. But then I don't know. I think like right. I like looking at videos of dogs.
Yeah,
yeah, I like
they're
that.
wholesome.
Yeah, the little wholesome and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I just need to be like, no, I like it. Like I like. No, I'm gonna defend it. What about you?
I would like to cut down how much I use my phone. But am I? I'm going to carry on.
I mean, I want to change. Like, I want to not spend no time on my phone, and I want to spend all the time working out and eating healthy. And but
best laid plans. But the way I kind of see it is, I would like to see less judgment from places like Netflix, or even my phone. My phone is judgmental as hell, because it'll be like, oh, your screen time is up by 6 hours today.
You can turn that
and
off,
I'm
Catherine.
like, I can. But maybe there's a part of me that likes to know that. I'm a data person. I like information. I like, but then give me that data.
Okay, so
tell me how long I was on Instagram.
the Netflix example of like, oh, are you still watching? I don't think they can work that any more passively. Like, oh, are you still like? Would you just want it to not pop up, or like, would you like to be like, oh, you've watched it for like 3 hours,
like an alarm? Like,
oi, you potato fuck!
Are you awake? I'm wasting my time. I'm just talking to myself right now.
Give it 5 more minutes, and I'm calling the police. Like, I don't know. Like, I used to ask it. It's kind of like the polite knock on the door. I'm like, hi, are you guys still in here? It's like.
It doesn't feel like that though. It kind of feels like a little bit of like a side eye situation. Like, you still watching? Are you?
Oh, have you got nothing better to do?
I'm going to say no judgment, but so just what I'm saying is, normalize excessive phone use, excessive internet use. Get rid of the judgment.
We should be able to watch as much gun and murder videos as we want. All right,
give me more.
No regulation.
On their makeup and talking about gore.
Shove it in my veins.
Like, considering how, like, your computer, I know you had yours like built. It's expensive. My phone alone is worth more than my car. It was definitely worth more than your car.
Like my non-existent car. Stab me in it and twist. But I mean, just my.
But I think that means I've earned my right to use it as much.
I spent a lot of money on this. I should be able to watch it all day. No, I feel like we've made some concrete arguments. So yeah, for anyone listening, be sure to double your current phone usage. Yeah, treat yourself.
Fall down that TikTok hole. Watch YouTube videos until your heart's content. No judgment here.
No judgment. We're not judging.
No, maybe a little bit.
No. Well, thank you. Should we do an exit ramble?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
How?
Well, I mean,
how do we exit?
Just that. Thank you for listening to Pretending to Know. I've been Matthew.
I'm Catherine.
There you go. Oh my God, that's good.
Yeah.
And we'll speak to you guys next week, I guess.
Yeah, we'll be talking more random stuff.
I love the confidence you lost. We'll just be talking around.
Yeah, we're contributing to the problem. We're putting more content out there.
Yay, content!